This week, we're looking at the Alien Gear Holsters ShapeShift Starter Kit. I'm Joe Kurtenbach. This is Lock, Stock, and Barrel. I've used various Alien Gear Holsters products over the last few years, and what I've always noticed is that they push the envelope of innovation and they always provide a really good value to their customers. Now we're looking at the ShapeShift Starter Kit, and this really makes a big leap in terms of modularity and really challenges what a holster can or should be. So the first thing to know about it is that it can be a little bit daunting for those of you with a keep it simple mindset. There's a lot going on here when you first open that box. Then again, the gear nut inside me saw all those pieces and parts and really wanted to dive in. So first of all, what is the starter kit? What is the ShapeShift system? And basically what it comes down to is it's a holster system that is extremely modular. It lets you configure the holster in a variety of different ways for different methods of carry, and as well it makes it very easy to switch between even different firearms. So we've kind of seen that same thing in Alien Gear's previous offerings. Remember their shells, basically the backer you had on their cloak tucks, for example. You could buy the different shells and attach them to the backers for different firearms. So if you wanted to switch between a Glock and a Springfield, no problem. You only needed one backer, the Allen wrench, and the different shells for the two, and you could pretty easily swap them out. We saw the innovation go a step further when Alien Gear introduced its magazine holders, its magazine pouches. Now with these ones, rather than having gun-specific pouches, they included kind of a retention system within each box that allowed you to tighten each pouch down to the specific magazine. And as well, those magazines came ready to be configured in either a single clip inside the waistband, single clip outside the waistband, or on a paddle attachment where you could even include two different magazine pouches right there on the paddle. So we started to see that modularity and that innovation in terms of attachment methods, retention methods. We saw that starting to be developed with those magazine pouches. Here with the ShapeShift Starter Kit, we've gone a step further and applied some of those principles and a little bit more refinement, including some really cool designs that don't require any tools, at least not any tools that aren't found in the holsters themselves, in order to create a modular system that can accommodate a variety of carry methods as well as a variety of firearms. So what do you get with the starter kit? Well, a lot. It's actually a little bit daunting when you open up that box and you see the two backers, and then you open it a little bit further and you see the holster shell and then all the attachment pieces. Now luckily it does come with a nice instruction manual to help guide you through setting up all of the various bits, but it can be a little daunting right when you open it up. So what these different components make is you can assemble 4 differently configured holsters for the same firearm with a given starter pack. Those different holster configurations include first a winged inside the waistband design, pretty similar to the Cloak Tuck series, but of course using the ShapeShift holster, and this attaches to the wearer with 2 polymer belt clips. Next up, we have a Appendix carry holster, and this one attaches the shell to a smaller backer and uses a single clip design to basically make a padded holster for the Appendix position. For outside the waistband options, you have a paddle design, and this is pretty unique in the way it uses kind of a knurled lug to engage the paddle itself, and we'll see that lug come up in some of the expansion packs as well, but that'll be a video for a different time. And there's also a Owb Belt Slide option, and this actually uses the soft backer and a couple of belt loops to attach to the wearer. So you do get a good variety from the winged inside the waistband, Appendix, paddle outside the waistband, and belt slide design. A good variety here. So how does it work? Well, basically the core of it is the gun-specific shell. Now these are custom molded, they're very good molds, and the material they're using, I believe it's a Bolteron material, but it could be a new proprietary polymer that they're using. It's really sturdy. And basically how this works is you have your shell, and it will attach the various pieces in the way described by the instruction manual, and you can basically construct these different holster designs all from the same pieces that you receive in that kit. It's pretty handy, it's actually pretty easy and pretty quick. The biggest thing to get your head around is that you get a lot of components in the box to start with, kind of keeping them separate or at least keeping them organized in such a way that you can find what you're looking for. A couple of nice design considerations regardless of the holster style you're using is that retention is always adjustable. Using the little knobs that are actually connect to the shells, you can use one of those to basically adjust the retention unit right around the trigger guard there. Definitely works well. Another thing I really like about the ShapeShift is that regardless of the holster configuration, your trigger guard is completely covered front and rear. That's an important consideration for me. I think that's one of the things a holster has to do. It really has to cover and protect that trigger, and the ShapeShift does that. Finally, again, regardless of what holster configuration you're using, the ShapeShift allows you to include an active retention device. It's basically a thumb retention device, so you can deactivate it as you go to draw with your thumb. And that can be used on any of the configurations, and it can also be removed very easily if you don't want to use it on any of them. Overall, I think you get a lot of value out of the ShapeShift Starter Kit. For less than $100, you get 4 different styles of holster and the opportunity to try out different carry methods. This is a real value for people just starting to get into carrying a firearm or using it, whether for concealed carry or just on the range. As well, the system can kind of grow with you through different shells for other firearms or through the expansion packs, which we'll be covering in another video. I want to mention too that I found the ShapeShift series of holsters to be sturdier than I first envisioned when I opened the box of components. I feel like the material they used and the way the components interface, it's a lot more durable than maybe I first expected. Now admittedly, this is not going to be for everyone. We live in a time where there is a big and bustling market full of excellent mission-specific holsters. However, in the ShapeShift Starter Kit, Alien Gear Holsters continues to do what it has always done, which is to innovate and provide a lot of value to its customers. So for more on the ShapeShift Starter Kit, you can go to aliengearholsters.com, and of course stay tuned right here for the latest guns and gear at AmericanRifleman.org.